Good evening, everyone. It is Friday night. It is game night. I hope you all are excited for another. This is our third game in the preseason for the Simulation Football League Minor League preseason coming up, leading into season 5. Goodness, Daniel, he's joining me here in the broadcast booth. Daniel, good evening. How are you tonight?
Good evening, everyone. I'm doing pretty good. People spotted me right down at the sidelines eating some popcorn and rushed me here as quick as I could. So here I
Excellent.
am, ready to go.
That is excellent. Glad to hear. Crunching that popcorn. Is it butter? Is it kettle corn?
Oh, it's extra butter. You gotta have extra
Extra
butter.
butter. That is wonderful. That
Mm-mm-mm.
sounds delicious. I do not have any myself. I've just got a nice iced coffee next to me. Got to stay both hydrated and caffeinated. So yeah, we are looking at seeing the Madison Lynx, the defending champions last year, last season in December, beating out the Lexington Miners, which is coming up. The Lexington Miners play the Albuquerque Adams April 7th in about 2 weeks from tonight. And Madison is coming into town here to Annapolis to take on the Navigators. Last year, Randy Squarebush really ran away with the games many times up until the last couple games heading into the playoffs, which really set them back, and they might have. I think they may have changed up a little bit of something, and something sort of fell apart there. But that has nothing to do with the skill that they've got out there. So yeah, returning Randy Squarebush, returning Gene Struthers, coming back, Orain Darby out there, wide receiver, coming in through a two-way contract, which is great to see. And then a lot of new players out there returning back, seeing him back in his defensive back, full free safety position, Jerry D. Gond, which is great to see as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good. So the Navigators, we found out in the middle of the season that they were gonna be like up there in terms of teams, but the Lynx, your Lynx, I might add, uh, was a surprising addition to what happened last season. No one really gave them much. I want to say much progress in what they were going to do early on, but they came out and they played and they only lost once. Isn't that right, Axel?
That is the one game was a regular season game against the Lexington Miners, which then was a prequel to what was the final game in the actual finals game. I was an assistant offensive coordinator last season for them. I was sort of cutting my teeth on that ability there underneath Jacob Clear, which is interestingly enough now the head coach over at Annapolis. So this is sort of an interesting. Madison, which is Jacob's previous team. Now he's heading up Annapolis. It's a sort of an interesting combination. And, once the regular season starts, I assume Madison and Annapolis will play each other at some point during one of the weeks during the regular season, which is bound to be a friendly rivalry, maybe. Should be a fun game to see myself and Jacob going against each other, or Jacob going against Jaden Swift here as the defensive coordinator on the Madison Lynx as well. Should be an exciting game. I want to say, there has been no coordinator coaching at all for these preseason games. Usually, preseason games pretty much rely on just a generic playbook. Both of these teams are using the exact same playbook. They both have 50% run and pass ratio, so nothing out of the ordinary, just very generic friendly scrimmage to see your players out on the field, see how the players do out there. So no scouting, not too much premonition as to what should be expected for the regular season per se, other than the pure abilities of the players out there. Yeah, it should be a really good game. The last two games, Daniel, have come down to the wire.
Yeah, I believe I said it was 3 points total for two games that it came down to, each one being on the last drive of the game. So it'll
which
be
is
interesting to see how this goes on and see who comes out in the forefront early on in the preseason game.
that is true. And maybe we'll add a point to the differential. Maybe we'll see our first sort of blowout on either side of the ball here.
Don't
Um,
jinx it, Axel. I want a good one.
it should be a good one regardless. I in it should be a really a fun game to see the players out there taking the field. And in fact, the Annapolis hometown has showed up here at the practice field. I'm getting word from the sound technicians that the crowd is very loud tonight. Should we go down to the field?
Yes, let's get this underway. I want to see how they do, how they start off, and see if we can get some scores early.
All right, well, let's head down there. So again, like I said, we are at the practice facility in Annapolis, where the Navigators do their daily exercises, their daily routes and practice that they play. Here you see Madison. Madison is in their orange and maroon, wearing pretty much mostly the whites, and you'll see the Navigators in their black, green, and yellows in their home jerseys. You see some of the highlighted people there, the players for both the Madison Lynx and the Navigators tonight. Again, we mentioned Randy Squarebush, gold halfback, running back, also playing beside. Why am I blanking on his name? The Louisiana running back. I should know his name. Colin Hart.
Randy Squarebush.
Randy Squarebush playing
Don't
along.
forget that name. He's going to go
Yes.
for another record season.
but Colin Hart beside him out in the pros. So rubbing shoulders there. The coin toss here. And it looks like the Navigators will receive tonight. And the Lynx will be defending the south goal.
So this is very exciting because there's a lot of talk about this potential expansion that's going to happen. And so anyone that's not on a two-way contract, everybody's being looked at, even early on. It may be even in this preseason game. So now is the time to actually show yourself, get in the rhythm, because we don't know too much about expansion. But if it does happen, that means a lot of room, a lot of draft picks might go in the future.
And so Madison kicks off, and here we see returner from the Navigators. Looks like number 27. Yeah, and right now with the regular season still, maybe 4 weeks away or so, now it's a great time if you got friends or family, anybody that you think would enjoy this kind of thing. Now's a great time to get them involved in the league. And in fact, we could probably call out now that since Madison is on defense and Annapolis on offense, there's actually some family rivalry going on in this game. Interestingly enough, wide receiver number 84, Reggio De Niro, is actually the cousin to the free safety for Madison Lynx, young Vaught out there. So they are sharing the field right now. And so we'll see how they battle each other, if there's going to be some extra hard tackling out there. Handoff to the right. Looks like Matthew Alvarado was out there getting him early, but there we see young Vaught again taking down Randy Squarebush.
I hope they made a bet on who was going to do better in this game.
So we see
So
Gene
we see Randy
Struthers.
Squarebush's first run, and he didn't really do anything. They had a good chance at group tackling him. So let's see if this progresses on and continues.
Pass over to the left. Nice pickup there by number 84. That's Reggio De Niro again, that we just mentioned, receiving that ball off to the side. Picks up that first down, around 12 yards or so.
Yeah, he did really good going diagonally as he caught the ball, so he can keep the pace up with the defenders to catch those extra yards he needed to get the first down.
And we see a very flat single back handoff, or a little toss actually, to Randy Squarebush, taken down after getting the first down by the inside linebacker Matthew Alvarado, number 54. he's just a mean man, Randy Squarebush, based on how he's been running, how he ran last season. We'll see, what he's learned, what he has picked up in the pros so far the last 10 weeks or so. Struthers back to pass off to the right side, complete gain of about 6 on that play. It's number 84 again, Reggio Dinero, seeming to be all over that field, both left and right.
He's looking hungry. He wants that ball. It's almost unfair, though, that Randy Squirrelbus gets to walk all over these young and up-and-coming rookies, doesn't it?
We just saw a little hint there of Ty White's cornerback covering Reggio Dinero back there. Hand off to Squarebush again, taken down right about that line of scrimmage. It looks like he may have lost a foot or so. Not literally a foot. He still has both feet. But taken down by number 49. That is a strong safety for the Lynx. That is Orion Horace, which I believe, if I remember right, in talking with him in the locker room, he is from Germany. Or not from Germany. He is living currently in Germany. He is an expat living out there. I'm not sure exactly the reason, but he is from America, but it lives over there in Germany.
And as you were saying that, there was a big tackle by Matthew Alvarado there to get the 4th down, 4th and inches, right on the 37.
We'll see what they decide to do here. Looks like they're lining up in an I formation. Single wide receiver at the top. We'll see what they choose to do here. They do. And he makes that.
I was about to say this could be the cheese, but no, he actually went.
So often, if you haven't watched too many games, so often on 4th down, the offense tends to go out there with the play, see if they can get the defense to go off sides before punting it away. And so 99% of the time they end up not running and instead punting. Handoff against her Squarebush, gets about 2 yards on that play, taken down pretty heftily by number 54. He seems to be all over the field so far, Alvarado.
Yeah, we're going to say his name a whole lot. He probably already got about 4 tackles, and he's just been 3 or 4 minutes into the game.
Here they go again on 2nd and 8. Lone halfback behind Struthers. Pro set by the wide receiver. Struthers steps back, throws deep, and it's received nicely. That is number 84 again. Reggio Dinero seems to have gotten back past the coverage. I looked like the defensive backs were maybe 5 to 7 yards away from him. Weren't really in the vicinity.
So far we could say it's 1 Reggio Dinero, 0 Young Vat.
So far.
In this little rivalry.
There's plenty of game left. 39 minutes left or so. But so far. Happy Friday. It is a great night for some preseason minor league football. Here we see a point after kick being booted through. It's good. That makes it 7-0. Annapolis up. I'm really impressed by both the pass game and I guess the throws that Struthers has been making and the catches that Dinero's been making so far.
Yeah, they had a really good drive. They almost stumbled on 4th and inches, but I mean, if you got Squarebush in the backfield, you go for that if you can.
Yep.
And they did, and Gene Struthers just finished it up. Now, Gene Struthers had a pretty good season last season in the minor leagues. Like, he was probably one of the standout surprise picks, I would say. Because everybody knew it was going to be Randy Squarebush, but Gene actually impressed with his deep threat. And that time, he didn't go for his usual deep threat target of Omarion Darby at all.
So here we see the first time we're seeing Xander Moon this season. He is lining up underneath center. To Marcus Duncan, a little handoff to Marcus Duncan off to the left side. Couldn't get around his offensive lineman, and the defensive line ended up sort of just starting to stack there. Taken down by Jerry D. Gond from the backfield, rushing up.
Yeah, it looked like he got a little stuck, allowing the secondary actually to come in to help out with the tackling.
Here we see a split back offense, pro formation by the wide receivers. Let's see what they decide to do here. Drops back by Moon, a little pass over the middle. I would almost say Baker was being caught up by the defensive backs a little bit, but probably just didn't get their hands in there to get a defensive pass interference or anything, but just sort of wasn't able to complete their route very well.
No, but now we're looking at a third and long.
A gun straight formation, it looks like. Moon back to pass, watching, looking. Passes out. Caught by number 86. That is the third wide receiver, generic receiver out there. Looking for anybody who was open, it looked like, going through his check downs.
It was a beautiful throw too, almost into double coverage, but he was able to do the over the shoulder type pass just to put it right where it needed to be.
That's one thing, knowing from last year, Xander Moon has really been able to, hold his composure and doesn't seem to rush much, and has a really beautiful throw. Little delay on that handoff to Duncan at the middle, not able to get anything running there. So both Duncan on the Lynx and Squarebush on the Navigators are wearing 21. But there is a slight difference in their builds. So Marcus Duncan is what was known as a balanced back, which is not really a power back, which is what Randy Squarebush is, nor is he really a finesse back, which is a lighter, more nimble. You see them do the spins a lot. I'd say a majority of the other backs out there, Logan Lee, I believe, is a finesse back, etc. So you'll see a different style of running and a different way that they sort of attack the defense when they come up against it. So it's a nice run there by Duncan for a gain of 7. Single back, Moon underneath center, drops back, a short drop back, pass over to the right, caught, and running up the field is Adrian Ellis, number 11.
It seems if Moon has time in the pocket, he finds the wide open receiver for a nice throw and catch. He's been on target with all his throws so far. Besides the first, like second and 10, I think he misjudged a little bit, but other than that, he's been perfect.
And taken down, we saw Dale McLean. He is the strong safety over there for the Navigators, number 27. Here we see a offset eye by Lynx. Back to pass, short little drop back, it's tight pocket. They say it's a fumble. It supposedly didn't have the forward motion and got hit coming out of his hands.
And I guess this is Cassie Curse because I said if he had time, he'll throw it. The pocket closed very quickly on him on that one.
It did. We see there number 23. That is Dominic Matz, the second cornerback out there for the Navigators. Here we see 3 at the top, 1 at the bottom. It looks like it is a gun straight package. Moon back over the middle, complete to number 11, Adrian Ellis again, but only for a gain of around 5 or so.
Yeah, it'll be 3rd and 8 on the 27th, but they are, I would say, in field goal range. So at the very least, they might be able to get 3 out of this. What could have been a disaster with that fumble might still get them 1.
Xander's a pretty large guy. I want to say he's 6'4", maybe even 6'5". Able to see over that offensive line pretty well. Little fake down. The pass is not good. Number 25, Clark out there. Icy Clark. Break it up.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty good pass, honestly. I think the wide receiver just dropped it. Right where it needed to be once again in double coverage.
He did have
Look at that.
He looked pretty open, like wide enough that he could have probably gotten close to a touchdown if he was able to catch it. I would agree with you. That was a very well positioned and thrown pass. Again, that was the 3rd string wide receiver, backup wide receiver. They tend to not have the best hands, a non-user player. So yeah, anybody that is not a human player or user player is what we call a generic player, and they all start They all are at that base copper where every human player starts their progression, but are unable to progress. So they just stay at that spot.
Yeah, and a lot of people have butterfingers sometimes in the league. It's not a big deal. In fact, I got butterfingers right now eating this popcorn.
I'm sure. So here we see they were able to put 3 points up on the board, and the Lynx are set to kick it off back to the Navigators to return. The typical return tends to be in the 20s somewhere. 20, 23, 25 is like a good average. We see here up to the 26, not bad. If they get up into the 30s or so, that's usually a pretty decent return. And obviously, if you return it to the house, that's something special.
Nah, that's just okay, right? That's just okay.
Just okay for the other team, maybe. Just no. So here we see again Struthers number 10, offset I behind them. Neither of these teams have a fullback, so that is again a generic player. Struthers back to pass, throws over to the left. Ooh!
Oh God, what that dive!
Nice little, like, almost maybe the Lynx have been playing volleyball. It looked like someone set that up, and Chet Maverick jumped at that chance to receive that.
Someone
That
better
was
clip that for that man, because that is a highlight catch.
interestingly, that was number 55 back there, dropping. That is defensive end Mike Mello dropping back into coverage and tip that ball up so that Chet Maverick can dig that catch. That was nice.
And even Cam in the chat is saying that was incredible. Never seen that in the pros. So there is a highlight moment.
Moon taking his time, pass over to the left. That pocket was collapsing a little bit, but he was standing strong. Pass it to someone over to Charlie Baker. You know, doing great things so far in the pros with Fort Worth, making a lot of those the same type of what is it, clutch passes that he was last season for the Lynx. Offset I again, pro formation by the wide receivers. Moon under center, drops back, long drop back this time, moving out of the way. Not able to move fast enough, and that pocket collapses.
Looks like number 27, Dale McClain coming from the secondary again with a sack.
Yeah, they were blitzing that strong safety position in there. Hard to do anything with that if your receivers aren't. I'm sorry, if your backs are not observant enough, maybe to find that or to see that. Again, patient, not able to bring that down. Thankfully, that was not caught by number 39 there. Gone there on the little tip drill, trying to see if what he could do. It looked like number 21 down there. That would be Duncan trying to catch that.
Yeah, we can't blame Gon too much. He's not used to being in the secondary role up in the pros, right?
No, he's been defensive tackle for Fort Worth as well, I believe. That one goes into the end zone for a touchback. So Annapolis will take it over at the 20-yard line. I believe this is then their third start of the drive. Last one ended in an interception. Wasn't a very long drive, that last one.
No, but we did have a good moment. I'm hoping for another one. I'm still vibrating after that catch.
Gene Struthers, again, they have stacked the line with two tight ends.
Looks like we got a free play.
We do. Taking full advantage of it, passing to an open receiver. That's number 84, Reggio Dinero again. Seems to be the receiver of choice tonight so far. I think that was Mike Mello, perhaps, on number 55. Yep. Again, that's the more you progress your player, the better they become at withstanding some of that. Sometimes there's not much you can do either. It happens to the best of us, Mike. Struthers doing really good. 64 yards passing so far. Just 1 interception, 1 touchdown. Offset I in the back. A little toss over to Squarebush, taken down in the backfield. They'll show only a loss of 1, but it looked a little bit more like a loss of 2 or so. Fowler there. New player, but old player as well. Fowler joins us, rejoining the league after some time already in the league and at the Portland Fleet as fullback, coming back to us. We welcome him back.
Yes, welcome back.
Struthers short drop back, pass over the middle, complete again. Number 84, Reggio Dinero. We will have to say those passes and catches look like money to Dinero. Mucho Dinero.
And here we started already. I see what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah, so far, Struthers and Reggio Dinero have been having some kind of a chemistry because he's the only one that's been catching those balls are being thrown to.
That's correct. He must be the one that is most open, perhaps. Pass over to the left to Squarebush, and Squarebush just pushes down number 42, John Fowler, to the ground. Well, gaining another yard or so, and taken out of bounds.
Yeah, so we're looking at 2nd and 6 now on the Madison 48, and so far they've been able to contain Squarebush pretty well, like contain him to the big yard plays. So.
Yep. Here they set up in a I formation. Lone wide receiver at the top, drop back to pass. Struthers to the right, complete. Just past that first down marker. This one, number 89. Welcome back to the minor league for this preseason game, Orain Darby. Nice to see you out there again. Let's see what they do here. They've got 3 wide receivers, offset I in the backfield. They're behind Struthers. Struthers to pass to the right. I'm not sure if that was complete or just simply caught and ran right out of bounds at the line of scrimmage by Squarebush.
I think it might have been incomplete, and that just goes to show what we talked about Wednesday about those out route plays with the throw with Steph.
Yes, the run route for running back seems to get them to that sideline pretty fast. We've got split backs here, 2 wide receivers at the bottom and a tight end at the top. Little rollout, and he is taken down. Struthers sacked by the defensive end, Mike Mello, number 55, just getting in there.
Gene Struthers tried to strut himself over to the side, but he got tackled for that.
That's one thing with these generic playbooks. They throw a lot of plays in there. We don't know exactly what you're going to get, but again, both teams are running the same playbook, so neither has an advantage. Both teams are playing 50-50 run-pass ratio, so it's just a nice even. Nobody has any advantage other than their team makeup. So here we see a bunch formation at the bottom starting the second quarter. Struthers back to pass, waiting, passes to the right, complete to number 85.
Looks like a generic player, maybe?
I believe so. Probably is either their 3rd or 4th round backup wide receiver.
And Derek, it's sad that you couldn't be here with us today. I hope you feel better, man. It's glad that you're here to actually watch while you're, sick with COVID. So hope for all the best, man.
Absolutely. We hope you heal well and that it's gone fast. So this forces Navigators to punt. The punt is kicked off around the 47-yard line. Let's see. Bounces. Nice bounce. And it does not go into the end zone. And
1 second, still rolling.
That was interesting. That was...
You got to get every inch on that roll.
Yes. Nobody wanted to touch it. I'm glad somebody eventually did. So the Madison Lynx will take over at the 5-yard line. We'll see what they decide to do, if they will run it, if they will pass it. Typically, I want to say most of the time the AI decides to run here within. That's what they'll do. Duncan trying to make his way up, ends up making 3 yards, sort of making something out of nothing, just pushing and pushing that heap of offensive linemen forward as much as he could.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to stop on the line, but he was able to literally push himself to get 3 yards. Give him some breathing room now out of the end zone.
And we haven't mentioned his name yet because offensive linemen tend to be sort of unsung heroes. But number 77 in there playing at left guard tonight is the only Jay Warren, one of 2 offensive linemen in the league. I believe last game that we watched, the other lineman was, I want to say Frank Burns on Tacoma is the other second offensive lineman. A little draw play there by the Lynx. Duncan able to get a little surprise on the defensive line and able to push that for another 4 yards or so.
Now, I know you said this guy's not a power back, but he's literally taken people with him to get that first down.
Again, that's the interesting thing about the balance back is that they're not quite they're right in that middle spot between one side being power back, heavier, stronger, higher level of break tackle attribute, and the other side, the right side, you could say the not right as incorrect, but I'm using my right and left hands. On the other side is the finesse backs that are more of that agile, higher speed movement. So again, we see Duncan here on a nice little corner side route. Maybe it was a stretch play or so.
And you got to see that blocking up and personal because he was able to seal them so he can get to the outside and was good run, good 12, 13 yards. So we hope to see more of that now coming as they start to drive.
Again, handoff to Duncan. Nice little gap there in the middle. Able to pick up about 11 yards on that carry, showing sort of his guts to run right up that middle.
Yeah, it looked like Navigators were sending a blitz, and they just completely didn't get a chance to see Marcus Duncan. He just went through the middle.
We see an offset eye, wide receiver to the top and the bottom, tight end to the top as well, on the flanking the offensive line. Handoff to Duncan again, able to make about 2 yards on that play. Just a slight little weak dive, it looked like. Taken down by number 54, Marco Million. How's that for a name?
It's pretty good, but I like. I'm hoping to hear this person's name specifically, their defensive tackle for the Madison Lynx. I think that is a very good name too.
You think so?
I think when someone has the name Joe Boo McSlim, I think he's a personal favorite of mine.
Joe Boo McSlim, absolutely.
So we're looking at 3rd and 8 on the Madison 42. Probably going to be a throw play if I would hazard a guess.
We see a quad formation. Quad left, I believe, in the gun. We've got Moon in the back. Drops back, moves a little bit. Pass over to the right side. Completes the pass. And number 11, Adrian Ellis, is able to take that extra step to get past that marker. It's not the perfect spiral, but it gets the job done.
Yeah, it looked like he broke from the route. It looked like the routes were covered pretty well, so he moved towards the out to the line and was able to catch the ball and just able to turn upfield for enough to get the first down. Very good awareness.
Another handoff to Duncan. Not moving, loses a yard on that play right there. The previous play was tackled by Icy Clark. We haven't mentioned his name yet. That's a fun name to say, Icy. Chill in that defensive backfield.
Would you say he's ice cold out there?
An offset eye here. 3 wide receivers, 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. Spread formation. Moon, short little drop back, caught by Duncan, trying to make his way like a swing pass, it looked like. again, just taken down really quickly for a loss of 1 on that play.
Yeah, and once again, we're looking at a 3rd and long scenario on the Madison 48, 3rd and 12 to be exact.
Got a gun straight package, Moon back in the shotgun, drops back to pass, throws it over the middle into some coverage, not able to get to his receiver. Looked like both the cornerback who was guarding him as well as or covering him, as well as one of the safeties comes in to sort of triangulate on him. Actually, no, it was number 54, the inside linebacker Marco Million coming from the middle, and then the conjoining with number 27, Dale McClain, the strong safety, to sort of converge and take that ball down. So it'll be 4th and 12.
It was really good because that inside linebacker was on the opposite side of the field, so he made that run in order to actually get a chance at the ball.
Very nice. So the Lynx back to punt. Not able to make it. I think they made it past the midfield, but then were pushed back a couple yards. Here we see the punt being returned, taken out a few yards out to the 23, and that's where the Navigators will take over.
Still plenty of time in the second, so we'll see what the Navigators can do. Their drive was pretty good with the passing game. I would like to see them try and open up the run with Ryan Squarebus a bit more, but so far they've been able to contain that monster running back.
That they have so far. But the game is still early. We've still got a while. We're halfway through the second quarter here as Struthers passes over the middle, taken out. The ball is deflected by number 94, it looked like. We haven't mentioned, so we've talked about Gene Struthers, quarterback. We've mentioned the running back, Randy Squarebush. We've even seen Reggio Dinero, obviously, with some of those money pass receptions. And we've also seen Orain Darby out there, but we haven't seen tight end Lachlan Martin yet.
It always seems like either tight end on either side hasn't really gotten a chance to showcase their skills. And if you're talking, it might have just been. Nope, never mind.
That was number 46. Yes. Yeah. Brooklyn Norris. That would be one of the backup tight ends. Lachlan, I believe, was on the
tight end, just the wrong one.
Exactly. I believe Lachlan Martin was on the lower half of the field. But was probably being covered. That one was just barely made that first down marker, which is kudos to the Navigators. They're out there in a 4 wide receiver set. Gun. Struthers back to pass, waiting for something to open up. Sees something, passes over to the right side for number 84. And I guess Reggio Dinero did not have exact change and was denied that reception.
A rare bobble of a catch because he was 5 for 5 for 76 yards of going into that catch. Maybe the lights were a little too bright on that one.
And there we see young Vaught, number 20, his cousin, out there.
Oh, that's what it was. He was talking smack, so he couldn't catch the ball. That's what happened.
He was too busy. So you've got Squarebush in the backfield. Struthers back to pass. Not able to get it out fast enough and is taken down. That is the defensive tackle. I'll let you say it.
Joe Boo McSlim with the sack. Snap into that Slim Jim.
Congrats for your first sack there. Now that means I believe both Joe Boo and Mike both have a sack on the night.
Yep, I'm done. That's the best thing I could ever have done. I'm gone. See ya.
Well, good night. Good night, Daniel. Just kidding. Struthers back to pass. A nice little step back, waiting for something to open up. Finds the short man. Passes over the middle to the slight left side. Complete to number 89. I believe Orain Darby probably saw nothing was happening. Stepped forward into that sort of no man's zone underneath the coverage and was able to make that reception, but not quite far enough for him to get the first with 11 yards left, forcing the Navigators to punt here.
Yeah, and Madison should have good field positions because they're currently on the 32 punting this ball. Oh, wait, there's a fumble.
That was a bobbled long snap, and it's blocked.
It is blocked.
And caught.
And we got a touchdown.
Wow. You could hear the Annapolis Navigator audience, the fans in the crowd are not happy about that. Wow. You do
So
not
when I
see
meant
that
good field
often.
position, I didn't mean a touchdown.
Yeah, negative yards. Wow. Holy cow. So I don't know. I'll have to check who it was that both made that block as well as who made that touchdown, who made that nice catch in that end zone. So here we see the kicker to make it even 7 on that touchdown, letting the Madison Lynx get up to 10 points on that scoreboard to Annapolis's 7. That it's interesting how things have played out so far. I've seen, I have. It's not that I haven't seen that happen. I haven't seen it just like that. That ball went really high, and was like, yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there. Wow. So here we see the Navigators taking that kickoff up to about the 29-yard line. It did go straight up and down, Ethan. Right up, and I'm surprised it didn't go out of bounds, that it stayed, it was like a volleyball being bopped up there. And just sort of an easy catch by what I can only assume might have been a defensive lineman, maybe. So Struthers again underneath center, Squarebush behind him, 2 wide receivers at the bottom. Squarebush, immediate contact, 3 yards deep behind line of scrimmage by number 93. Squarebush able to make something out of that and get out there.
Yeah, we're looking at a 2nd and 8 now on the 30. I thought I lost you for a second. Actually, you weren't being very quiet on my side.
Oh, you can hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Oh, good.
In as on halfway through that play.
There's the Squarebush that we've seen before last season. He just needed to dust that cobwebs off. He was getting some high steps in there.
You can only contain the man for so long.
That was quite the run. I'm sure we'll see the replay here in a moment.
Would you say he ran so far away?
There he is. Just running through a couple. There wasn't that many people he was getting a really nice blocks during that first 10 yards or so. Then he shed that one tackle and nobody else could catch him after that. That's that tackle right there. And he just 84. Had really, really good blocking. Number 55, Mike Mello, trying to catch up with him. But Randy, it was gone.
Yeah, and 84, Reggio De Niro was the man made that block at the end.
Was he blocking number 20, I think, Young Vaught, I might have seen.
Do we really want to bring this up so the rivalry continues?
Maybe. So then we'll see the kicker here to see if they can get this point after. It's good, and that makes it 14-10 Annapolis now. Quite an exchange of points these last, 3 minutes of the quarter so far, the second quarter.
It's almost like that kick, that punt return fail never happened.
Just negated that. Very exciting game so far. We see the Navigators about to kick it off to the Lynx. It's up. And Cotter on the 5-yard line, taken up to about the 25, and that's where the Lynx will take over and see what they can do. If they can put up any more points on the board before the end of the half here.
Yeah, we're looking at 3.5 minutes on the 25. Only down by 4, so it's still a close game.
Very much so. Averaging 5 yards there for Marcus Duncan. That's pretty healthy. I'm sure with this last run by Squarebush, he is probably maybe up in the 7 yards per carry. Moon airing it out, just a little short, tipped by Jerry D. Gons in the backfield. Or the back. Is that the backfield? I feel like the backfield might be behind the line of scrimmage. But it's out over the field, deep, is where it was tipped.
Yeah, and Jerry DeGuy is probably happy to be able to stretch his legs and get out there in the secondary and play some.
Yeah,
Uh, I'm sure he's enjoying every moment of it.
Duncan in the behind Moon. Moon up under the center. A pair of wide receivers. A little toss to the side to Duncan. Duncan runs it up for about 2 yards on that. Ran it up to the left side. That's number 54, Marco Million, inside linebacker on the stop. So Marco Million shares the linebacker duties with outside linebacker Rachel Menner, and in front of him is defensive tackle Teddy Riley on the defensive line. Moon back to pass, throws it to the left. It is intercepted. That pass was just sort of taken away by number 22, Tyson Thorne. We haven't spoken his name yet out there. Cornerback for the Annapolis Navigators. Just eyes on that ball and just grabs it out of the air.
Yeah, he saw it the whole time. His eyes never left the quarterback. So so he must have been looking to see where the ball was going and just jumped on it. And if we knew that from Wednesday, that would factor into the aggressive stat.
That it would. The ability to make a move on the ball in the air. Handoff to Randy Squarebush, and he's just plowing everybody over. Averaging 10.7 yards per carry, 107 yards so far with a long of 69, I think it said. This is the trucking Randy Squarebush we've seen last season.
Yeah, Randy decided that it's time to stop playing games and just start hitting anybody he can as he wants to get those yards.
That he's like a bowling ball out there just knocking down pins. Goodness. Offset eye pro formation by the wide receivers. Struthers under the center. A short drop back, pass over the middle. Received by number 80 something. I couldn't tell if it was 81 or 83.
I want to say it might have been 87.
87, that's right. There we see Lachlan Martin. And if there was a pass to be caught, that touchdown pass was the one to end up in your hands.
And I believe it's time to say the hashtag throw to the tight end.
That's true. I'm counting on Guy Clausen to say that. So here we see Navigators to kick that point after. And with that, it's now a 21-10 ball game with Navigators now taking a very healthy lead, up by 11, as we're inching our way to the halftime. We're 20 seconds away from the 2-minute warning. But
go ahead.
This last minute or so seems to have been taking a while. We've been talking for a while. I mean, it seems like just a minute ago, Randy Squarebush ran it in for a touchdown from a long ways away.
Yeah, when I said plenty of time, I didn't mean to start going to the call, but it seems as soon as Randy started getting the running game going, it opened him up completely for that throw.
And that interception was really a backbreaker in this first half so far for the Lynx, sadly, for them. But excitingly for Tyson Thorne and the Annapolis Navigators. We'll see what they can do, what the defense can do in this drive, and what the offense, Xander Moon, will do. We've got Duncan in the backfield. Little handoff to him. Not going too far at all, and in fact, losing a little bit. He's carried it 10 times so far. He's not quite as plow him over as what we've seen from Squarebush in this last minute or two, but he's been holding his own really in general. Ebb and flow. There's the 10-yard rushes that we've seen from him, or nothing.
No, and we did hit the 2-minute warning, so still got 3 timeouts. 2nd and 11 on the 26. Let's see if they can get a good drive going and try and cut into this lead before halftime.
Split backs. Moon looking for a receiver, finds him, and it's Charlie Baker bringing it up to leaving 1 yard left to gain on 3rd and 1.
And there's no need to panic yet. Still plenty of time. Just gotta
Ab-
make sure to convert this 3rd and 1 and move those chains.
Absolutely. So with 1 yard left to gain for a first, we'll see a heavy set handoff to Duncan, plowing through a nice little opening made by the offensive line there, picking up around 5 or so on that carry.
And the time continues to tick, but we're still over a minute. I would like to see them now probably maybe go semi-deep, get a good 12, 13 chunks.
They're set up in an I formation with a single wide receiver, a little toss to the right, not able to hold on, picks it up.
Well, when I said 12 and 13, I didn't mean that way.
So
Go
that
the other ways, guys. The other way.
They can be glad that they at least were able to recover it. We'll see what they choose to do here on 2nd and now 22. We have a quads left gun package, it looks like. Xander drops back looking for a receiver, finds one underneath, tries to drop it off unsuccessfully to number 21, Marcus Duncan.
And now we're looking at 3rd and 22. On the 30, a country mile, you could say.
Yep. That incomplete does stop the clock. So we've got a bunch package to the bottom, lone receiver at the top with a single back behind Moon. Moon drops back, moves away, and ultimately has to toss that ball out of bounds before being sacked. Must have seen a lot of really tight coverage out there with nobody open, forcing them to punt.
As bad as this is, I do believe the Navigators started with the ball, so at least the Lynx will get the ball in the second half.
So we'll see what the Lynx do during halftime to be able to see what can motivate them to change the direction of this game. The punt is up. It's caught around the 32 and brought up to about the 35, 3 yards on that return. With 19 seconds left, do you hand it off to Squarebush and just see how much yardage he can chew up?
I wouldn't be too risky with it. I would hand it off to Squarebush. You got 11-point lead going into halftime. There's nothing you should do to potentially throw a pick six or fumble the ball. Just give it to the sure hands here.
Looks like that's probably what they're gonna do. Got a heavy. Oh, he hits somebody and changes direction. That was kind of fascinating to see. Again, in a hurry up, little toss to the side. Squarebush again taken down at around the line of scrimmage on that last play, and timeout is called.
It's interesting to see what they do here because they're still on the 37. Do you think they'll go for a Hail Mary?
I would bet that. I don't know, or there's that's pretty far. That's a pretty far distance. If I'm not really sure, they might just simply try to run it again. Yep, looks like they might try to run it in this spread package. Yep, that's what they choose to do. With that spread package, it looked like the defense had a nickel D out there, a little softer on the running game, taken down, and that brings up 000s for this first half. What?
So, Axel, I'm gonna say for you, what was the play that stood out for you in the first half?
We knew that Randy Squarebush could run, so we saw that. We saw a touchdown. They got a touchdown on that. This play that I'm going to say was not the one that stood out, but I really liked the Lachlan Martin play by Annapolis to get into that their final touchdown. But that one right there that's being replayed right there by Reggio De Niro, I thought was a very nicely run route, He was beyond the coverage, and it was a nice pass, a nice catch, and just simply a walk in of 10 yards into the end zone. So to me, that Reggio Dinero, that first touchdown that the Navigators had, was one of my favorite offensive plays that I've seen so far tonight.
Because I'm going with that play you just saw, because that is mind-boggling how he was able to catch that.
The little volleyball setup and Chet Maverick jump in. That was of the defensive plays. I'd say that one was the most entertaining. And for an honorable mention was that one right there where let's see how this happens. So long snap that was high, missed by the punter, punts it up in the end zone, gets blocked by number 50 something and caught in the end zone for a touchdown by number 26.
And the
Number
Lynx was just waiting to pounce on that kick. They were just waiting for it. They just stood there.
And here we see that long, I want to say 69-yard run by Squarebush. Man, it's been an exciting. I don't know if have the other two games. I feel like this is the most exciting one we've seen so far.
Offensively, this is the most output we've seen out of half, I want to say.
I'd agree there. Here we see that I want to say that. Yep, there we see Lachlan Martin with a nice little spin catch move right there. That was a very nice play by him. Really, both defenses have come to play, but I think that the Lynx are just a little bit stronger. They've just let like on some special plays, they've maybe not quite as hard nosed on the defense. I'm sorry, on the passing as Annapolis has been so far. But I would say right now it's anybody's game. We'll see if the Madison Lynx have had their talking to and have gotten motivated to overcome and get the momentum to swing in their way. The kick.
And speaking of that, what do you think they should change up going into the thing?
I think trying to get some of those short, sort of spread the field a little bit from sideline to sideline. Maybe some nice out routes, or some a corner route or two would be nice to see. Something that just ultimately can pick up that 5, 6, 7 yards on a pass that is going to be open. But we did see that pass being cut off and an interception happen last quarter or last half. Here we see Marcus Duncan trying to run up the middle for a loss of 1 on that play, tackled by Marco Million.
Yeah, it looks like they're really starting to get a grip on the running game as well, being able to stop him in the backfield multiple times.
We've got 3 receivers, lone halfback behind Moon. Moon drops back far, finds a receiver. No, he does not find his receiver, Adrian Ellis, but instead the route is jumped by Dominic Matz.
He found someone all right. It just wasn't someone in a white shirt.
He just sort of took that ball away, it seems, from Adrian Ellis.
And we would like to point out the Navigators last season did have one of the best defenses. Second to, I believe, the Lynx.
Yep, the Lynx were number 1 defense on yards and rushing and passing and points scored in all of those. But the Annapolis were very, very good on defense. Specifically, they were very good on pass defense, if I remember correctly. There we see Reggio Dinero again.
He was able to pick up 4 yards on the play, so it's on the Madison 30 now. Pretty on the verge, I would say right there on the line of field goal range.
We see Struthers with an offset eye behind him. Randy Squarebush, part of that eye, looking for something, passes it over to Squarebush. Squarebush not able to take it and gain much of anything. In fact, loses 3 yards on that play. I think Struthers was just scrambling, trying to get that ball out so he wasn't taken down for a sack. But part of me wonders, it was probably, what is it? 6 on one hand, half a dozen on the other kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it was a check down. Like they couldn't find anyone to pass it to, and right now might have pushed them out of field goal range with that. So that could be a big play going into this third down.
Struthers passes over to the right. The pass was received by number 84, Reggio Dinero again. So that was
Or you can
the
go
type
back
of
to the money man. That'll work
absolutely.
too.
He was able to catch it, 5 yards up past the line of scrimmage, but was able to make that turn, stay in bounds, and gain another 7 or so before being taken down after the first down marker. Here we see Squarebush again. Looks like a split spread. Struthers to pass to the right to Squarebush, it looks like.
Yeah, the difference this time, he was able to turn as soon as he got the ball and see where the defender was and really make a play.
Able to take him down before he got to the end zone, but was able to make that first down marker. So now it's 1st and goal in the Madison 7. We've got a offset eye, a spread formation. Actually, it might be a tight end flex. Handoff to Randy Squarebush again, this time taken down in the backfield or for a loss of 1 on that play. One of the backup defensive linemen, it looks like.
And if they could stop them to a field goal, still be a 2-possession game. So there's still a lot to play for with the Lynx here on defense.
Absolutely. Struthers slight step back, pass over to, I believe, the fullback, number 26. Not much happening for him. In fact, loses another yard on that play.
I was just about to say he lost another yard, so they're pushing him back. So it's going to be 3rd and goal on the 9. So close to 3rd and long, pretty much, as you get here to the end zone.
Yep. But that does open up a lot of field, and sometimes that short field when you get to that end zone is tough. Wow, that was a pretty nicely placed pass over to number 87. 87 being a backup wide receiver, not able to hold on, and in fact, might have even been tipped right before.
87 is the tight end.
Oh, Ted. Okay. Oh, yes, you're right. Lachlan Martin, not able to hold on to that pass, ends up sort of hitting him in the hands. Perhaps he wasn't ready or expecting that ball as soon as Struthers had to release it.
Yeah, it was a good pass. It's just I think it was better defense compared to the offense on that one, right? Made a tackle right at time.
So here the Navigators are trying for a field goal from the 15, 16-yard line. Would go in the books as a 26-yard field goal. That puts Annapolis up by 14, just like you were saying. Still a manageable game for the Lynx. 14 points, as we've seen, can come pretty quickly if things start to fall into place for the Lynx on offense.
Yeah, what could have been a disaster with that intercept is only turned out 3 points, so it's still a 2-possession game. Lynx just need to regroup, shake it off, pretend nothing happened, and start flying away at this lead.
So Navigators' kick is up. It's fielded around the 12-yard line, running up the field. Takes it up to about the 29, 30-yard line, and that's where the Lynx will take over. So we've talked about the wide receivers. Both of these wide receivers, Charlie Baker, number 15, and number 11, Adrian Ellis, are both the only two-way contracts on the Madison Lynx. Both wide receivers. Charlie Baker for Fort Worth, playing out there in the pros right now, and Adrian Ellis, I want to say, is on Denver Nightwings as a wide receiver. And here we see Duncan getting around the edge and getting those blocks were really nice as well, really opening that field up for him, gaining 10 yards on that play. Let's see that again.
What could have been a 5-yard play was turned into a 10-yard play just by that one block alone.
Number 77, that is the one, the only. Oh, no, that isn't. That's not. I thought that was Jay Warren. It was not. Number
You're still
60.
doing a great job, Jay Warren. We'll shout you
Absolutely.
out soon.
Number 68, Jay Warren out there. He is left guard, so he's at the top of the offensive line near the two tight ends that line up there. We'll see if they decide to run that way. They do a little draw pass or draw play for the handing off to Duncan. Duncan able to get 4 on that play. You know, the power of that draw play ultimately it fakes that defense into thinking that it's a pass play. The their linebackers start to drop back into coverage or plan their movement into their zone, and with that extra delay, the wide receiver, I'm sorry, the running back is able to get in there and make a nice little run. But here we saw Moon trying to get the ball out of his hands to Ellis, not able to do so. Ellis doing the best he can, Moon doing the best he can to not go down and get that ball out.
Yeah, he was hit as he threw the ball. So, but Madison Lynx are doing what they need to do. They're starting to march a little bit. They're starting to make some progress on the field position. Need to convert here, though, on 3rd and 6.
We see 3 wide receivers at the bottom, 1 at the top, tight end in there as well. Moon over the middle. He did not catch that. That was ping-ponged back and forth between offense and defensive players right there. It looked like trying to go for, I believe that's the 4th level wide receiver, number 18.
Yeah, right idea. I think he might have been a little scared because he heard footsteps. Might have made him tense up and drop the pass.
So that brings up 4th and 6.
Yeah, so it's not too bad. You guys are playing for field position now. You'll be hopefully be able to put him back to the 15-20 if you're lucky, and then from there, defense just gotta make a play.
That's true. So the kick is off around the 32-yard line and received around the 15. A little bit of movement and able to get up to the 19, a gain of 4 or so on that return.
Thank you, game, for showing me that I can be right about something.
There you go, Daniel. You can leave now. Your evening is done. You've done all that you can.
I got to say Joe Boo McSlim, and I got to correct something. I'm 2 for 2 today.
Absolutely. We'll see what they plan to do. It looks like we've got a spread formation out there. The single back behind Struthers. Struthers making a change in the play on the field on the line. Pass over to the right for a quick out to Reggio Dinero. It received successfully for a gain of 7 before being pushed out of bounds by number 24.
And he has 8 catches for 94 yards so far, so he's having a hell of a game.
That was Ty White, cornerback, on the tackle there of Dinero.
You can say that Reggio Dinero does not have more money, more problems.
Another little pass over to Dinero, received again successfully for a gain of 2, again being defended by number 24, Ty White, being pushed out of bounds as well.
These are only small yards, so it's 3rd and 5. Lynx can make a stop here and get the ball right back.
My bet is that they're going to pass again. They've got 3 wide receivers out there, as 3 wide receivers, and then an offset eye behind Struthers. We'll see what they decide to do. Handoff to Squarebush up the middle, and he is still running with pretty much the entire Lynx team on his back, being taken down by number 55 and number 54. Both Mike Mello and Matthew Alvarado pretty much combining for that tackle up there. Once they get up there.
It looked like they caught everyone off guard, including myself, by switching it up and going for a run there.
So far, pass rating of 108, not too bad. Anything above 100, I'd say is pretty dang good. Another handoff to Squarebush. So Squarebush has the, I believe, the workhorse animation, which does increase someone's abilities, their attributes a little bit, or their abilities, the more that they are handed off to. So he might be starting to reap some of those benefits at this point in the game.
And to all the rookies, don't get too discouraged. Randy does have, this will be his fourth season because he got 3 in the minors and 1 in the pros. So he's had a few times to actually progress these players.
Correct. So yeah, don't be discouraged. With time you'll be there too. And that is not a guarantee for getting W's out there as well. He is a force. He has been a force. He still is a force. And he's going to do all he can, but that makes it fun trying to stop uh, this force of nature. And they did that. That is, they got, it's now 4th and 1. They stopped him at with that 1 yard left. And there you see young Vaught in on that tackle, taking this behemoth down before the first down line.
Yep, good stop. They'll get the ball back.
We'll see if the Lynx defense can stay on task and not jump. No, they do pass it or hand off. A little toss play to the side, but he is taken down, and that was at near the midfield line. So here we see the young John Fowler in on that tackle. Number 95 coming to help pull him down with his weight as well, but really John being the first one to hit there and start taking him down. So kudos to you, John, for taking down Squarebush and really giving your team decent field position. Would have been a punt and maybe pinned deep, but now they're starting from their own 40, from the Annapolis 49 actually. Handoff to Duckin.
And that could have been the mistake that the Navigators didn't want to give the Lynx now, because that momentum is on the Lynx side.
That's true. Those stops, both that 3rd down stop to bring up 4th and 1, and then that final stop to for that tackle for loss to give the Lynx that ball back, might be that straw that broke that camel's back. Moon back to passes over to the left side, the bottom of the field, completes to Charlie Baker for a gain of a couple yards, brings up 3rd and 6.
Critical 3rd down as we're getting closer and closer to the end of the 3rd. On the 45, you really want to make good on this field position, this mistake by the Navigators.
Really capitalize on that, definitely. Moon back to pass, throws it over the middle, is not hauled in, but is instead sort of tipped up and intercepted by number 39. That's Jerry D. Gond.
He found his hands.
That he did. He's just, keeping his eyes open, sees it come up, and it sort of drops right in front of him, able to snag that ball out of the air. There's been a lot of turnovers in this game so far, and a lot of movement on offense back and forth. Some really fun, interesting plays that have happened so far. It's just been a pretty exciting game so far.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of turnovers or interceptions in the first 2 games, but it seems like the defense really came to play on both sides.
Absolutely. We see the pass. De Niro was a little bit out of bounds, not able to stay inbounds to receive that ball. So it'll bring up 2nd and 10. So far this connection between Reggio De Niro and Gene Struthers seems to be somewhat unbreakable. Just very rarely have we seen passes to Lachlan Martin or Rain Darby. We see another run by Squarebush up the middle, able to catch about 7 yards on that play.
Yep, we'll make it 3rd and 3 now in the Madison territory under 49.
They've crossed over that sort of barrier at the 50-yard line. We'll see if they can convert here. If not, will they try for a 4th down again, or have they learned their lesson?
I hope they learned from their mistake.
Struthers under center, offset eye behind him. Little fake toss to the fullback, and a little toss then to Squarebush. Not able to do anything, and in fact loses, I believe, 4 yards or so, taken down by 59.
Yep, so we're looking 4th and 7. I would suspect a punt. I would hope they don't go for it on this one.
It looks like the punt is forthcoming. Yep. We've seen a high snap by the Navigators before. This one's snapped successfully. Fair caught at the 27-yard line. And that's where we'll see if the Lynx can mount a touchdown ending drive. Really, I mean, we had been saying there's a lot of time, and there really is still a lot of time theoretically, but that time is literally ticking away. So we'll see if they can start to string together some of these positive yardage plays, get some of these first downs, convert on third if they need to.
Yeah, you see Xander Moon is changing the play up.
Handoff to Duncan on the right side for a gain of 7. Pretty nice run there for him. Seeming to come alive a little bit more in the second half.
Yeah, and it seems that right side is where he's getting most of the yards too.
We've got 2 wide receivers, one at the top, one at the bottom, and the lone back is Duncan. Handoff to Duncan, run up the middle. A gain of 1 or so on, maybe it was literally a foot, and the rounding just brought it back to 3rd and 2. So we'll see what they decide to do here. I would bet it might be strong enough to run up the middle here. Looks like that might be what they do with that heavy I formation right there. Handoff to Duncan. He gets through. Gets about 5 yards on that play. Brings up that 1st and 10.
Yeah, never saw it coming. They stacked the box, but the block was able to hold long enough for there to be a small hole for him to fit right through.
Look at Moon there. We've got 2 wide receivers, one at the top, one at the bottom. Duncan behind him. Moon steps back, a short little drop back, and he's taken down by defender coming in. Let's see who that is. Lennon McDonough. One of the backup, I believe, defensive tackles. For a loss of 3 on that play. And sacks tend to happen, you know, especially when you're trying to find some of those deeper, longer plays. A handoff to Duncan. Able to make good on 1 yard or so on that run. 78 yards so far on the day.
Yeah, Marcus has really held his own in the running game so far. Like, it's still 4 yards to carry. Probably a little less now after that play. But they need to start making some plays through the air as we get to the 4th quarter.
And that's been the tough spot. You know, it showed Moon has currently three interceptions. Who knows if his confidence is shaken a little bit. This brings up the start of the 4th quarter. Those of you here, if you've watched an SFL game before, so often as we do in those games, let's put 4s in the chat to sort of commemorate the start of the 4th quarter.
And once more, we see that inside linebacker, Marco Million, making a play on a deep throw.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, I was talking a little bit about that on Wednesday night with the DC about how important coverage is for both inside and outside linebackers, but more specifically for the inside linebacker. They more often than you would think drop back into coverage in that, you know, 5 to 15, maybe even 20-yard area or distance. Punt is up, returned at about the 25, and they'll get up to about the 28. And this is starting to get a little tight for the Madison defense. They're going to have to come on strong to hold here, give that offense another chance at getting points on the board.
Yeah, Navigators will have a good chance to tick some time off the clock, especially if you get a long drive. So Lynx really got to step up on defense. Once again, they've been playing well, but they need a turnover here, I think, to really get themselves that chance to get some points.
Hand off to Squarebush, and he's just plowing through defenders. Sort of expected that they would try to run here, trying to wear out that clock like you said. Got number 93, a defensive lineman, trying to chase him, not able to catch him. And that adds another 6 points right now on that scoreboard for Annapolis, making it 30-10, the point after forthcoming.
And as you can see, Square was just tackling people while he has the ball to anyone that gets close, like that man, 449. Then 23 had a chance. He's very slippery, hard to put on the ground. We've seen that multiple times last season.
Someone asked, what is his rating? I don't know it offhand, but he is a gold running back. Might be in the 90s, I believe.
I will check now in a second and let you know, because I'll continue the commentary.
And here we see a point after, and it's up, and it's good. And that makes it 31 for Annapolis, with the Lynx coming in at 10. 21-point difference. That's 3 touchdowns. It's a large mountain to climb for the Lynx. Has been done by many teams before. Can they do it here? Again, reminder that both teams are playing with the exact same generic playbooks that nobody really, no SFL individual came up with. They're ones that are included in the game or the editor. And both teams are playing with the same 50-50 pass-run ratio as well. So no team really has any type of edge based on plays at all. The only edge they have is on the skill of their players in their roster. And this is different. This is just for preseason. Once the regular season starts, those are exactly created by your offensive and defensive coaches, your head coach creating the strategy for your team. Here we see Duncan again with a run. Up, gain of 5 there. Not quite enough. That's, still, 5 yards is not bad for just a solid, I think he is bronze, high bronze running back.
Yeah, I think we got confirmation in the chat as I looked up as well that he's around the 112 mark.
Wow. That is quite high. Even in the pros, 112 is high. Nice completed pass over the middle to convert into a first down. That is number 11, Adrian Ellis, doing a little shimmy, feeling good about that one. Maybe that's the little boost that they needed. Little stretch out there, elongating himself. Almost a Superman type of catch. We've seen that before. But I'm sort of glad he didn't, so that he continue running using his feet.
Yeah, we don't want him to fall over, do we, Axel, like someone else we know when he caught that interception.
Oh, yep. Moon passes over to the right side. Nice little out route, quick out. Gain of 5 there for Ellis again. 5 receptions on the night. We'll see if they can get both Ellis and Baker involved a little bit more in this. I think that's sort of that necessary thing. I don't think you can rely solely on Duncan, who's been running pretty well tonight. Little toss to Duncan, running off to the side, able to pick up 3 yards on that. I was not expecting that to be positive yardage, actually, seeing how that started to unfold. McLean there on the tackle.
Yeah, and Duncan has played well. He's ran the ball well. It's just the pass game was a little difficult, but Navs is known for having a good passing defense. We actually touted that earlier on in the game.
Absolutely. So we see a I formation, a handoff to Duncan up the middle, trying to see if they can convert, and they are not. He's able to get right back up to the line of scrimmage before being taken down a little bit behind the line of scrimmage. So it looks like the Lynx are again going to be having to send their punter out to kick that ball. This time, do you want to make a guess on where they'll be receiving it? You did so well last time.
Daniel. I'm going to say he's not going to kick as well as before. I'm going to say 23-yard line.
I'm going to say the 12. The kick is up. Ooh, and he receives that at the 12. And he's taken down at the 15. So
I went over. Price is Right rules. You win.
Woo, yay. $1, Bob Barker. $1.
You know who's been playing more than $1? Your man, Reggio De Niro.
That's Daniel, you and your puns.
You're starting to rub off on me, I think.
Yes. So we see Struthers underneath the center. Offset eye, hand off to Squarebush. Three people trying to tackle him, and they're able to take him down after a gain of 4. He's averaging 9.2 yards per carry out there.
Second and 6, on the 19. Still a preseason game. Go out there and do the best you can at this point.
Again, an I formation. I was going to suspect a run, but the defensive line gets some penetration there. Number 93 in on the tackle, sack actually, of Struthers, who was looking for a wide open receiver, wasn't able to see anybody downfield. We see a quad left gun. Struthers back, passes over the middle. Not able to get to the receiver, and in fact is tipped away by number 49. That's Orion Horace. The strong safety back there.
Now this is dangerous. This is about the same area of the field where the ball went overhead.
You're right. We'll see how well they execute this time. Good on the Lynx defense for holding strong here. This could be exactly what they need with a little less than 7 minutes left. The pass is caught at the midfield, giving them pretty good field position. But they don't want a field goal. They need to get 3 touchdowns in the next 7 minutes. Less than 7 minutes to make a game of this.
They need to start getting points right now. So as much as I say Duncan's having a good game, they need to start airing it out.
So we see Moon under center, offset eye behind him. Moon with the short drop back, passes over to the left. That is number 15, Charlie Baker, getting involved. Finally, with 6:47 left in the fourth, Baker catches gain of 6, runs out of bounds, stopping that clock. I think this might be where they start to, if the AI is smart, it'll start doing some of those out routes. So those are going to be really important on, it does not stop the clock. I am not sure. I thought they weren't really tackled. They ran out of bounds, I thought.
It doesn't stop until they get to a certain time.
Oh.
This clock is still going to run until I want to say, I don't remember the rules off the top of my head. It might have been 4 minutes, close to there.
So we saw a pickup of 1 on that play.
But they need to start airing it out. These short plays are good, but you need a big play over
Little draw, handoff to Marcus Duncan, able to pick up that first down. A gain of around 6 or 7 on that play. That was a pretty nice little run there to get that first down.
Time continues to tick now. We're at 5 minutes and 42 seconds.
I formation. Wide receivers at the top and bottom. Moon changing up that play on the line. Back to pass. Passes it over to Duncan. Duncan not able to get even up to the line of scrimmage. Not quite. A loss of 1 on that play.
They have good field position, but they still need to start making plays here now. And they look like they're still trying to do the running game, which is, while it's been working, it's really chewing up a lot of clock.
Yeah, they've had the ball now for about almost 2 minutes without much benefit yet. And here, with 3rd and 13, you'd almost hope that they would have a pass play in this formation. And they do. Back, pass over the middle, caught by Adrian Ellis for that first down, that well-needed first down. Let's see what they decide to do here. If they're gonna just
And this
simply
is good because I think they caught the defense on a stop and play. Maybe they can get a few more yards here.
pass over to the left side, number 44. I believe the backup tight end not able to rein it in.
So that will stop the clock. Second 10 on 23. They can change up the play. I still suspect at this point they should start throwing the ball.
This is a pretty good distance too. If they can get a nice pass play, maybe a post through the middle or a quarter route off to the side, might be a great distance to get a touchdown. But instead, they drop it to the check down to Duncan for a loss of 1. That coverage for Annapolis must be really strong back out there, able to sort of shut down these wide receivers. Moon looking for what's open. Oh, that was a wonderful, wonderful pass to a wide open number 86, I believe, the third string wide receiver. Not able to catch that.
Had plenty of time in the pocket too and found the right man to throw it to just unfortunate drop.
Here we see a single back bunch. Moon back to throw. Throws it over to the left side to number 11, Adrian Ellis. Successfully caught, but only able to get a handful of yards, not enough for a first, which gives the Navigators back the ball. Number 29 in on that tackle. Without 29 taking him out, probably would have been able to get another 4 or 5 yards, perhaps to the first down, but likely not. Number 29, that was Nathan West, strong safety. Here we see they're stacking the offensive line here with the I formation, giving it off to Randy Squarebush. Randy being able to weasel his way up to about the 29-yard line, gain of 11 on that play, giving them a first down.
Yeah, if you're the defense, you know what's going to happen. They're going to give it to Squarebush now the rest of the way. So you got to really stack the box and hope to make some plays to stop them behind the line or even at the line.
Number 93, number 20, Young Vaught in on that tackle there. It's never good when your safeties are the ones when they're rushing up to tackle, but when they're dropping back into coverage and they end up being the ones to tackle. That's when you know your running game is doing well. We see a very, very strong offensive line showing for Annapolis. Hand off to Squarebush again, being taken down there by number 24, Ty White. Ty White, cornerback.
Yeah, he was corralled and wrangled by the looks of it. Just hold on to whatever he can to put Squarebush down.
Yeah, it's just that's what you got to do. You just give it your everything and make sure you don't let up.
And even then, sometimes he just pushes you down.
Even then, yes. Similar, we've got a lot of men up in that offensive line, on the line of scrimmage. I formation. Just wasting time, letting that play clock wind down. Squarebush from the run out to the left side. I believe that was the weak side, taken down by number 59.
Yep, and they don't need to snap it again, so we're probably going into the 2-minute warning.
3rd and 4. You're probably right. They'll probably sit there until that ref blows that whistle. And with that, we have the final 2-minute warning of the game. 2 minutes left. Annapolis up by 21, 31-10. Earlier on, when late second quarter, as we were heading into the half, it didn't look quite as drastic. But really, the Navigators have sort of taken and stolen the show for the majority of the third quarter and now into the fourth quarter. We'll see if they can hold them here to a fourth.
The major difference has been this man who's getting stopped in the backfield. Squirbush has really taken the game on his shoulders, on his back in the third quarter.
We just saw the inside linebacker Matthew Alvarado, number 54, get into that first hit in on Randy Squirbush. Not quite able to take him down 100% right there, but before long, John Fowler aided and him in getting that tackle. Punt is away on 4th and 5. Fair catch called for at the 35, and that's where the Lynx will try to stitch together a drive that will hopefully end in some points. We'll see how well this drive goes.
Minute 50 on the 35. They can still make a charge to get another touchdown. Especially since I think someone was saying that the backups might be in for the Navigators.
See a
So
gun.
keep an eye on that.
Shotgun straight formation out there. Moon back to pass. Passes over the middle. Complete to Charlie Baker for a gain of 5 on sort of an under route by him. In a hurry up offense, which is the smart thing to do. Pass over to number 88. That is Ron Haynes. I don't think we've called his name yet. That is a tight end for the Lynx, Ron Haynes. Get another caught ball there. Still doing the hurry up offense. That was number 15, Charlie Baker again, I believe. Just rolling down the field now. Xander Moon passes over. Caught again. Gain of 3 on that. By number 88 again, Ron Haynes. Keeping that same formation. Seems to be working. Making a little change up there on the line. Moon ready to hike that ball.
Wasting a lot of time, though, while changing that play.
That he
into
did.
The hands. Almost a pick, but forgone again.
Yeah, he got one earlier. I think only one. I think might have been Jerry, and it might have been Tyson Thorne might have gotten the other one that they have.
I do believe Tyson got the other one, yeah.
4th and 2. This is really important down here for the Lynx. Xander making a change up out there in real time. Moon back to pass. Passes over to the left side to Baker. Complete. Gets it. Gets that first down. That well-needed first down. Gets out of bounds, I believe, as well. Pushed out of bounds by Dale McClain.
Yep, did get out of bounds. Now, even though the backups might be in, it is something to note that Navigators have 2 free safeties and 2 strong safeties, so they'll have a player in regardless.
Yep. Good call out there. Both Icy Clark, free safety, and Nathan West, strong safety, as well as Dale McClain was out there as well, especially in like nickel and dime packages as well. Moon back to pass. Passes over to the right side. Not complete. Intended for number 18. I believe that's the 4th wide receiver in the list. Not able to complete that pass. Ends up being hit in the hands, and lucky that it was not intercepted by number 27 or number 59. And we have not talked about Rachel Menner yet that much. Number 40 out there, outside linebacker for the Navigators. Funny enough, I was talking with Corey Menner, Rachel's husband. So Rachel is the wife of Corey Menner. We know him as Chief Menner. You see him doing the stats, posting the stats, updating the stats on the website every single week. There we see Duncan with a successful catch, but for a loss of 2 running out of bounds there. So I'm excited to see Rachel in here. Again, so we've talked about both Young Vaught and Reggio De Niro being cousins, and now we've got Rachel Menner, the wife of Chief Corey Menner, as well, CHS alum.
Seems like we have a lot of familial bonds coming into the league.
Absolutely. There's nothing better than sharing this with your friends and family. Honestly, it's a lot of fun. You know, both some camaraderie and some fun, friendly competitiveness as well.
Or Kirsten, when they win a game against Florida to go 2 games up in their division. I mean, what?
Oh, with your brother, Adam, right?
Yeah, with the revolution.
Yeah. So here we see it's 4th and 12 for the Lynx. 25 seconds left. We'll see what they pull out of, if they can pull the rabbit out of the hat and get a touchdown here, or at least simply continuing this drive with a first down. So we've got a bunch on the bottom, single wide receiver at the top. Xander out, thrown short to number 11, Ellis again. Not able to get up to that first down marker. Not sure why that was thrown so short, or not. Why this play was called that had such short routes in it, knowing that they had to get 13 yards or so. So turnover on downs there. So now Annapolis has the ball with 20 seconds left.
And that will probably do it for the game because Madison already used a timeout.
Looks like they call this the victory formation, the best formation in football. Ultimately, the quarterback is just taking the knee and letting the play clock run out. But the Madison Lynx will say, hey, no, we want to keep playing. So they'll call their second to the last timeout and force them to take another knee.
And you can already see in the chat, bragging rights has been called by the millionaire himself, Reggio De Niro, to young Vought.
Do you think Reggio and Marco Million will combine to make $1 million?
Man, they look like $1 million out there on the field.
You know what? Even though the Navigators take this W, this preseason win away from this game, there's a lot of positives on both sides of the ball. I mean, we know Moon has the ability to throw it out there. He has a nice pass. We've seen some of that evidence today. And the defense for the Lynx is pretty strong, especially coming up against Randy Squarebush, able to take him down, half the time, which is pretty significant for knowing Randy Squarebush out there and what he's done in the past seasons. So and obviously with the win for the Navigators, there's a lot to be proud of there as well. Knowing that Squarebush is, returning to his same glory that he had previously in season 4. Struthers is looking great. Reggio De Niro, I think, is the one of the better players out there right now, showing what he can do. Here we see a breakdown. Those turnovers really were killing the Lynx's chance out there on offense. 229 yards for on the day for Squarebush.
Yeah, both teams played pretty well. De Niro almost got to 100 yards, a little short on that. I think the only sad thing about this is the game is over and I'm almost out of popcorn.
You didn't save me any.
I need to go back to the concession stands. Do you think they're still open?
No, probably not.
Oh man, I got to wait 2 weeks now to get more.
Yep. Yeah, so we're seeing some good kick returns there. Really, there's a lot to be proud of from both teams. I'm really excited to see what the regular season brings. Seeing our actual coaches go head to head, seeing how they can make use of the talent that is obviously on the field for all 8 teams so far, or all 6 teams that we've seen so far in these 3 games. We've got one more game, final preseason game coming up in about 2 weeks on the 7th of April. Same place, same time. So make sure you tune in then as well. Here we see Moon going back, throwing over.
And not only that, next Wednesday, we'll be back, same bad time, same bad channel that we were last Wednesday, to do more minor league fights and insights.
That is right. We'll be talking about. We'll be picking 2 teams. Let's see who the player of the game, and it's Randy Squarebush. I would have guessed that. I assume you probably would have as well.
That was an easy no-brainer. But an honor mention go to De Niro for almost getting 100 yards in his first ever SFLm game.
Absolutely. So with that, that pretty much brings our broadcast to an end. Oops, wrong button there. There we go. Back to the booth with us. So Daniel, let's see. So yeah, we were talking about next Wednesday, the show, Minor League Fights and Insights. Um, we'll be picking two teams. I'm not sure exactly which two teams yet. So we've got 8 teams in the minor league. We'll pick two. We'll do this for 4 different shows. We'll take a look at the players out there, who their coaches are, sort of analyze what they might be doing. Maybe we'll do 3 if we can fit it in um, during the show. But we'll have a few more people joining us on the show. Derek Meerkat, if he's feeling well enough, will be out there. We'll see if Nathaniel Diggs from Queen City will be able to join us. He was uh, on the Madison Lynx last year. Maybe in the future, Robert Cherry or some others. And if you're interested in joining our crew during Wednesday nights for some of the talks, reach out to us. We'll also be doing. So last week we talked with both Adam Chance and KJ Alesho.
Both great guys, by the way. Both
Absolutely.
fantastic people.
And we're looking at wanting to do 2 more interviews, probably 2 more each show, weekly show. And so if you're interested in coming on, having a little chat, a little interview with you, please reach out to us. Join Daniel. I don't know if you want to put in the exclamation point Discord in the chat. That'll bring up a link to our Discord channel where you can connect with us, connect with your fellow SFLm players, and again, not to replace at all the SFLm Gen Chat and the chats that are over on the SFL. Please keep using those. But this is another fun little place to learn. If you got questions, feel free to come over and we'll try to answer them. Links to last season's shows are there. Links to the shows that are being recorded are being uploaded to YouTube, where you can find these recordings on Twitch for, I think they keep for about 2 weeks. So you can go check out those video on demand VODs
Yep,
out there.
and we also do random conversations, like we were talking about board games, talking about that new game coming up that's almost like D&DS that's coming on PC. We talk all tons of stuff over there. So
Absolutely. We're also looking at developing some extra content that's sort of outside of the show as well. Last season, I did a little intro to scouting, so that's out on the YouTube playlist as well. And you can find links, or you can ask us about that in the Discord. Daniel, you're interested in getting the emulator. I've been using the emulator. This is actually what I streamed this on, using the game, using the emulator on the PC. You're looking at getting the emulator sort of set up. We were talking about recording that so we can sort of show you guys all, what is it like to set it up, to be able to get access to the game, to be able to, do some scouting or to do some play testing and other things to play a larger role in your teams. It all makes you, is it really fun to do? You feel like you can actually have a greater impact on the wins and losses of your team, but it's also a great way to show that you're dedicated and have a passion for the game, have a passion for the league, and what could also help you get drafted as well. All that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that's really about it. I think we're set. We have this great game that we just watched. I'm really excited about the next one, and I'm counting the days, as many of you probably are, to the actual start of the regular season. Oh, I want to also mention, we alluded to it a little bit too, Daniel, during our last show too, that the portal may be coming before you know it, you SFLmers. So the ability to progress and see your teams, and for us coaches to be able to download the roster files even easier. That might be coming in the next week or 2 or so. That's really exciting. I know Cam and the league has been working really hard. The developer has been working really hard on getting that set up for this, for the minor league system. And ideally it should be here pretty soon, and really looking forward to that. So
yep, and we say it every time a new person goes on the portal. You'll be amazed at how easy and simple it is, and what you can see, and how you can actually use that to help progress your player in the future.
Absolutely, it's really a no-brainer, and it's just amazing what the league is, how the league is investing back into us, into the experience, as much as we're investing into the league itself. So both, yeah, that's both monetary, the simple, amount of for like I said, I was drinking an iced coffee. I think the iced coffee was more expensive than my monthly, uh, subscription fee to this. So, and look at how much fun that we just had, you know, for the last 2 hours or so. Um, so, with that, thanks for joining us for this Friday night game, this preseason game. I'm looking forward to continuing all the conversations that I have with you all, and I'm really excited. Like I always say, we might be competitive for the 44 minutes that we're out on the field, but other than that, we're all one big happy league. That's all be one big, giving community to each other and cheer each other on. Other than those 44 minutes when we're battling it out on that green field. Um, any final words from you, Daniel?
I watched the SFL pro games this weekend. Get a
Yes,
good idea on what teams you may be interested in as we get very, very close now to the regular season for the minor league. And
absolutely.
I'm going to give a shout out to Derek. Please get better soon, buddy. I would like to see you up here with us in the future talking. And I need you back so we can play our board games.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Daniel, for joining me. And with that, then, good night, everybody. Have a great Friday night, and we'll see you guys all in YouTube, Twitch, and the SFL chat over the weekend. Good night.
See you later, guys.